Yes, sir. It is I, your boy from Bed-Stuy, and I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in for Don't F Up the Crime Scene, where me, special guests, will tune in and talk about our experiences on crime scenes and how to mess up the case. All right? So sit back and enjoy and holler back at your boy. Holla. All right. Appreciate everybody walking in, coming in. I don't know where y'all been. It is I, your boy from Bed-Stuy, do or die, Brooklyn, and we're going to talk about a few things. I have special guests coming all the way from St. Charles, M.O., Missouri, and I'm going to get him in. Mr. Robbie Norris, and we call him Robbie. Homie home, met a few years ago. We're going to go through it. I'm going to talk about his bio, come in a little bit, and get it going. So again, welcome back to Don't Fuck Up the Crime Scene, and where you hear special guests. We go over different types of necessities, doing crime scenes and what not to mess up and stuff like that, and crossover from ACO to ACI work. So again, don't F up the crime scene. Let's get it. Robbie, welcome.
What's going on, man? How's it going?
Oh, you tell me, player from the Himalaya.
Just another day. You know how I go.
All right, man. So like I said, you've been doing this for a little while, about 9 years, working as an ACO. Now you are lead ACO, working at, you worked at HSMO.
Yeah, Humane Society of Missouri.
Oh, that's what's up. And, you know, so you're lead officer now, and you're making transition from being a regular ACO to a lead ACO. What's the difference? What's been going on with that?
The difference is a lot more structure,
Okay.
but a lot more decision making.
Okay.
So of course, you know, when you're just a regular ACO at that point, you know, you're just listening to the boss, and the boss is telling you what to do. But now, when the roles have changed, and now you are the boss, the issue is, okay, now you got to recontrol your mind in the thinking like, you know what? Okay, I'm not a regular ACO no more.
Okay.
I've graduated.
Okay.
So now it's time to interpret the skills that I've learned onto others and point them into different categories and push them to succeed.
So, you know, I remember in my ACO days, well, hell, I'm still an ACO. Back when I was a supervisor, and, you know, my moving from one to another, it was difficult because just a little while ago, I was a peer, I was on a level, and now, you know, I'm a supervisor. I'm, you know, not saying, you know, they're beneath me, stuff like that, but there's a different level here because, you know, now I'm a supervisor, and they're subordinate, and I have to treat them such in a way of position, but not as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yes.
So was it a hard transition for you?
Absolutely not. See, my team,
Okay.
we're actually like equally yoked. We all have our strengths and weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So my supervisor pretty much pulled me to the side and said, this is going to be your team, but I want you to run it how you fit. So what I did is I analyzed the situation and said, what are we good at? Mm-hmm. And play people in their strengths. But you can't overly play people up in their strengths because you don't want people to think, oh, well, he's only calling me for such hard calls and such is not getting a certain hard calls. So sometimes you're going to have to pull that person that might not like to speak in public, but is great with PR work, and push them a little bit so that they can get comfortable, so that you don't always need to count on the person that you know whose skill set is 100% go and get them. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I remember I had a group of maybe 7 to 8 officers come in, and it was all males.
Gotcha.
So you're talking about, and everybody was under 30. And, you know, I'm the older statesman. I'm the kingsman of the group. So, you know, you had the young bucks testing your boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which, you know, I was like, oh, it's like this?
Yeah.
And but it pushed me to make sure I'm fit to do the job.
Yes. Right.
Mentally and physically, because, you know, I got these young, you know, silverbacks coming in. And it was my first time. I didn't have a female coming in the academy, because I used to have a female officer. I will always say, and I mean this, everybody can hear this, like that. Most of my female officers will outwork a lot of my male officers. Because they had to, because under strength-wise, sometime, but they were sharper and more hungry. That, you know, I didn't understand that part. And most of my female officers are just go get it, like you said.
Yeah.
You know, doing this job, going from an ACI to an ACO, ACO to ACI sometime. It's difficult because you might be in a position where you have to play all three roles.
Absolutely.
You have to be the supervisor, the ACO, the investigator, sometimes the manager, sometimes the kennel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do it all. So now since I think you said your shelter's been contracted out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what happened with that?
So not to get into every little thing, but
right.
you know, the growing trend now across the United States is contract kennels, basically, privatized kennels. So basically, our shelter was contracted out, and basically with that situation, we have an entity basically that's running our shelter, and you have animal control. So we just run the animal control aspect of animal control, and then we contracted out our shelter, and basically what they do is just do nothing but animal care. So we pick up, we drop off, and anything facilitating animal care, keeping, walking dogs, adoptions, and so on is the basically the contractor's job at that point to run that, to actually facilitate every aspect of the shelter.
Does it make your job any better?
It actually created a really good partnership in between contracts and animal control. Okay. So at one point in time, you got your animal control. We were getting stretched thin because we only had so many animal controls. We were also cleaning the kennels. We were doing this, but yet you want us to patrol the areas and everything like that. But when you're cleaning, feeding, and doing everything like that, you're getting pulled left, right, and everything like that. True that. Now that we don't have the shelter, it's a little bit more easier, and we're available. So if you need us, we can be there like that because we're already rolling around up in the community.
10-4.
So like if you say, hey, I got ducks stuck in the drain in Ward 16, I'm just going to use it like as an example. I could say, okay, I know who's in that ward. Give me 1 second. He could be there within 4 or 5 minutes. Simple as that. As if we were to reverse the situation, we was at the shelter, our shelter was halfway across town, it would take us, the response time would be a little bit longer.
Gotcha.
So it actually does benefit each other that way.
Cool beans. I'm glad everything's working out. Congratulations on this promotion.
No problem.
And the position, because I seen you was coming up, bruh. You was Joe Rookie, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And now, that's what I like to see. I'm proud of you, stuff like that, because I like to see people progress in this field, because this is a field that's it has its controversy, you know. And again, I've been doing it for I'm OG, so I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm glad to see the young bucks like yourself and everything come out there and get positions where they can influence and cultivate a good environment and culture. Because it's hard. And then your example, out there showing what you can do, family, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Because, people say, people are lazy and millennials are, lazy, stuff like that, but I see differently,
Yeah, and that's what I like to do too, is I also, coming from where I came from, let me just be general, like we had no role models where I came and went to school from. Like,
right.
I didn't have an animal control that could push me in this career path. It just basically fell into my lap. I didn't know nothing about animal control.
Right.
But now what I'm instilling in my officers now is we're getting donations through the police department. We're getting donations through.
There you go.
We're getting donations through the public in general. And what we came with the idea is, how police, they used to ride around and give the kids in the community baseball cards.
Yeah.
Well, I came up with the idea. I say, kids always think of us as in a negative light, right? Like we're the dog catchers. We're going to take your dog. Well, we was getting backpacks and stuffed animals donated to us, and we didn't know what to do. So I told my officers, put them teddy bears in that backpack. And we're going to go around to the parks and in the community and engage with the community and create this community engagement and get out and let the people see us. Let them know that we're in the community and that we're just not dog catchers, as the public likes to call us, but we're actually people. We're animal control and we care as well. And we're giving out dog leashes and disposable water bowls at the same time. So when the people see us hop out our trucks and we got these colorful backpacks and we got books and teddy bears, they're like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, hey guys, we're just animal control. We're in the community. We just, trying to spread joy. How old is your daughter? How old is your son?
That's what's up.
And it creates a barrier to where it's not you versus them, but it creates more of a community friendly environment.
I remember working down in Georgia and the idea or concept of community policing. Now, it gets a negative light because, the boys in blue got a lot of negativity. Okay, even St. Louis and everything like that. And I bleed blue. That's all I've known in this career. For 26 years, I was a ACI, cruelty investigator. Had a bad team, and we was dope. And my son, who's former cop, he works at the medical examiner's office now, and I hate to see the stigma of the boys in blue getting a bad light. Just because you have a few rotten apples, they'll mess up the whole, orchard.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think we get a negative stain on us when people say the dog catchers, because there is such a thing as a dog catcher. First of all, there is such a thing, or dog warden. It depends on where you go, stuff like that. And I try to big up my homies and homettes and my dudettes out there to make sure, to understand that, you're part of a collective, a team, stuff like that. And everybody does things different, but you always should look at yourself as an officer first and everything second,
Yes.
That means on and off duty, make sure, you hold things correct, you don't get in trouble,
Yep.
Watch the domestic stuff like that, because all that will affect your, your employment.
Yes, absolutely.
But like I said, I've tried. Let's go through some questions real quick. And you've been doing this for 10 years. And we talked about your current position, talked a little bit about your bio. First question, best thing about your job? What's the best thing about your job?
Man, the people that I work for in the city, honestly.
Okay.
The people that I work for, 100% top-notch grade A people. I can depend on them, very trustworthy. There's no breakdown up in communication, and we basically keep it open. Like we're one of the cornerstones of, if there's an issue, I'd rather you bring it to me directly,
right,
than to try to hide the situation or to say, oh, I don't really know what's going on, so I'm not going to address the situation, right? Okay. So it's one of the situations where, hey, if you know something messed up, come talk to me. We analyze the situation together. And we're good, depending on the situation. I'll tell you we're going to roll A or we're going to roll B, or I'm going to give you, hey, it's in your lap. It's your team. So you make the decision, and you just got to be comfortable with rolling with it at the end of the day.
When I say this a few times of a podcast like that, I was a horrible supervisor my first year becoming a supervisor. And because my major was like, hey, I need you to lead the field. I'm like, yeah, I'm not about that life. I like my team I'm on now. I'm a cruelty investigator. I got my other partner and got my detective, got my boss, Sarge. I'm good. Why do I want to leave where I'm good? I flourish here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold up. Why do you want me to leave? This is what I'm doing good like that. And she saw something in me that I didn't see. Absolutely. She's seen just not a boss. She's seen a leader. And I was like, one of my former mentors and was one of my bosses way back. Me and him just talked the other day. He was like, he saw the same thing. But, he said you was hard-headed. You had to grow up, stuff like that. And it takes time for us because, like women, they got 2 years mentally on us. That's why, they they can figure a lot of stuff out,
Yeah.
Us, we a little dumb sometimes. And when I got the opportunity, I said, okay, let's do it. And I just wasn't ready to be a supervisor. What made you ready, or were you ready to be a supervisor, and what was the learning curve?
Honestly, I don't think you're really ever ready to get pushed in a situation, right? And I had a mentor. I still got him actually, and great mentor behind the scenes, talking to me, kind of gave me his points of view and kind of pushed me in the right direction. But at the same time, when people was like, Rob, I really think that you should go for the situation. Right. Go for the lead position. Go to be the supervisor. And then when I got it, I had to kind of talk to a couple people because I was kind of feeling a little bit, honestly, imposter syndrome a little bit. Meaning, like, everybody else was like, man, it's your time. You didn't work so hard. I finally see it in you. And I was, on the outside, I was happy. I was cheerful. But when I get home, I was like, can I really do this? Like, I'm scared. I'm gonna be honest with you.
A little self-doubt.
Yeah. Self-doubting myself. Like, am I really supposed to be here? You know, like I know I went through a lot, just to get here, but really, are you supposed to be in this position? Talking to myself, analyzing things, and second guessing myself at one point, but it took me, and I'm still not 100% there, but with the team around me, it's also taken, everybody's like, no, man, like, don't be shy. If you're gonna need anything, reach out to me. You're fit for this. I just need you to believe in yourself a little bit more. And that's one of the inner battles that I have, is because I know I'm good enough, but at the same time, I'm like, but am I really supposed to be here? So I got to push my own self sometimes.
Gotcha.
But I do know the people at my staff, they're like, no, Rob, we're championing for you. This is for you.
Gotcha.
We see it. You're great with the public. You're great talking and doing PR stuff and everything like that. You just got to see it within yourself. And I do. But, like everybody else, you got to question yourself in the background and say, man, I hope I'm doing a good job.
Like I said, I was pushed into this position by a former police major who, upheld her all the time because, like I said, she held me to the fire, made sure, I had to rewrite my reports like that. She should just go through my stuff with a red line and actually help me mature to be a better person, but a better supervisor. And matter of fact, just a better officer. And it was maybe my third time having a female boss, which is easy because my thing is it shouldn't make a difference if it's male or female. As long as they conduct themselves professionally and treat you equally, I think it should be fine. I know a lot of people have problems with female authorities like that. You have male or female boss?
Male.
Okay.
Had a female boss.
And was it a problem before?
No, it wasn't really a problem.
Good. And, I think it's all relatable, you know what I'm saying? And I think you can learn from both sexes.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially. So, I had to go to the chain of command and above me to get a few books on interpersonal relationship and understand how to be empathetic to my subordinates and their problems they go through. Because I was just talking about it. I was one of those, like, you calling in sick, okay, but then they tell you why. I'm like, before I was like, I don't want to know why. But if they feel they need to tell me why, I'm like, okay, I have to understand that. Whereas before I was, extremely cold.
Right.
No, I wasn't callous, but I was cold. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But being out there, because I had to learn that we manage emotions at the same time as a person. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes these people can talk to you, but they can't talk to somebody else at home.
Absolutely.
Because they actually, they work with you so much, they feel comfortable talking to you. And they always say the door is always open. Even to this day, I'm cool with most of my former officers that was under me because and they could tell you I treated everybody fair.
Right.
Only thing is, I'll say it before, say, well, you played, you had favorites. I was like, well, yeah. The thing is I had to learn I couldn't manage my favorites. That's what I had to learn because I did everything because football was always be my first love, but basketball is close second, or maybe vice versa. The thing is, I had to learn to not show favoritism. And don't get it twisted. I think you should reward the person who's doing a great job. Period.
Yes.
But you can't show favoritism. And I was like, but what if they're just better? So, example. You have a 12-man roster or female roster. You have the starting players and you have your bench players.
Right.
The starting players, they get more time, they get more money, they get better accommodations and get everything, right? Well, I don't know about accommodations, but maybe they do. They get all, what? Why they get all those things? Because they're better, right? But they said, well, you can't be saying they better, but they are better. And I'll give them more hours, more overtime, like that. I said, hold up. The other members on the team or the bench, they have an opportunity to work hard and be a starter. But some of them is just bench players. They're still on the team, right?
Yeah, they're still on the team for sure.
Right? So I had to understand how, like I said, I discipline private and, promote and blow them up public. And I had to learn I can't have favorites. Do you have any problems with like that right now?
No, because I actually read this book. You might be familiar with it. Who Moved My Cheese?
That's my man. Give me a thumb dap. Very good.
And
Very good.
Actually, it was given to me by a wise man. He basically said, "Hey, read this book, and you're gonna have to learn that when you get in positions of, I guess, power or more authority, exactly.
Right.
You can't." If you have somebody that you know or coming from being an officer, now you're being promoted, it's easy to get trapped in that, oh, that's my friend, or, oh, we work together, because sometimes at some point, you're going to have to lay the authority down at some point in time, and you don't want to get trapped in that cycle of, oh, well, I thought me and you were cool, or I thought we were friends, and you can't do that. I mean, you can still be that, but you got to also have a very delicate balance.
Right.
So when you go into the book, it also tells you, don't have favorites, but you can also give your little small praises in public as well. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to wait once every 3 months and bring it up. But if you see that, hey, nice job. I seen what you did for the lady down the street. You volunteered to clip the dog's nails. Totally love that. I see that growth in you.
One thing I tell you like this, I remember it was an officer that I was on him. I was on him hard. Because he was having more than brain farts. Brain farts I can live with, but he was fucking up. And I was like, yo, son, and I didn't have as much patience as I do now. And I was like extreme hard disciplinarian, just hard, right? I'm like this, fuck out of here. But, I had to understand, like, I had to coach him up. And when I would say, yo, you did a good job, you could not understand. It was like, he wouldn't do it in front of me, but it was like giving somebody. You remember, you get those little stars from your teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And they said, "Yo, what you say to your boy?" I said, "What's that?" He said, "This motherfucker beaming." It went so far to come from me that I'm saying you're doing a good job. Know what I mean? All right, we at the halfway mark. Go ahead.
Same thing. So what I've learned to do is, since I moved into this position, is I was like, you know what? I want to keep my team intact and my team strong and my team faith. So what I do is, every so many weeks or so, I get us together, man. We do some team bonding. Let's go out to eat. Don't even worry about that. We going out to eat. I got your lunch. Your lunch is on me. Don't even worry about it.
So, Robbie, on that, we talking. I'm going to hit a sponsor in a second. On that note, dog, I used to buy lunch. And all my guys, I used to buy lunch for everybody. And, I was like, yo, I appreciate you guys like that because, they know I had side hustles. And I wouldn't go out of town and teach and stuff like that. And I said, yo, I need y'all to hold it down while I'm going. Meaning, do your damn job. Absolutely. So I don't have to hear about it or see your ass later. All right? And they used to hold me down so tight. So tight. You know what I'm saying? All right, real quick, let me get to this and we come back to these questions. All right, make sure this is still up. Still up? We still going? All right. Coming to you for our first sponsor. It's going to be Metric One Online, metriconline.org. This is a Marcus Kellum Productions code enforcement guru, okay? That's metriconline.org. If you need anything code enforcement, anything like that, regulations, call Marcus. He is awesome. He was one of my boys from Brooklyn, and he puts out a great training course, all right? That's metriconline.org, all right? All right, let's get it back. So we went through about your jobs. What is your favorite movie or book?
Favorite movie or book? Honestly, I would have to say, man, I'm into natural disasters. Personally, it's crazy. So 2012 or something
with your boy, with your boy in there. What's his name? What's Kuzak?
Yeah, or San Andreas with The Rock.
Yeah. I'm about rocked out, man. I'm about rocked out, son. So I'm waiting for Black Adam. But
this particular movie getting a lot of heat, but I thought it was good.
What?
Morbius.
Morbius was the truth.
Man, Morbius was good, but everybody's like, "Oh, Morbius was horrible." I'm like, "Man, Morbius was cool."
Listen,
so,
I enjoyed it. Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Jared. He's method actor like that. I enjoy Jared a lot like that because I'm a movie guy.
Yeah.
So I didn't know which was going books like that, but Morbius to me was I enjoyed it. Hopefully they bring it over to the MCU.
Yeah.
It goes into it and gets into the Spider-Man, pantheons like that, and we have some good stuff like that because Black Panther coming out with Prince Namor, Samarin is coming out that one. We just saw Love and Thunder's coming up, right?
Yeah, Love and Thunder's actually going to come out in a few weeks. Well,
right, and we just saw Doctor Strange. How'd you like it?
I didn't see Doctor Strange.
Oh, son, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna spoil it. Woo!
Good though, right?
Oh, yo, I ain't got. All I know is this: Scarlet Witch, beast.
Okay. Cool.
Enough said on that. All right.
Okay.
Y'all don't call Robbie up and like, yo, spoiler. Ain't no spoiler alerts, okay? I ain't gonna do you like that. Let's get to another one. What is your the most interesting case you ever had?
The most interesting case I ever had was probably a case involving a couple of reptiles that was found in a storage facility.
Okay. Like a U-Haul place or something like
storage facility similar to that.
Okay.
They were all dead.
Okay.
And somebody left them there and they froze to death. Tracking down the person was hard.
Okay.
But the case could never go nowhere because this is the tough part. Proven animal neglect, animal abuse to actually say this is the reason why this animal died. The animals was left there so long that when you go try to take them to an necropsy, your vets will actually tell you it's hard to prove that an animal was technically frozen to death due to the cells when they freeze, refreeze, and unthaw. So you really can't really say,
wow.
Yeah, so you really can't say it was from this period why this animal, it's 100%, this is my testimony that this animal was actually frozen to death. You really can't really say that because they said going through the cells and refreezing and freezing back up again, and the decay for how long that they was actually sitting in there creates challenging for the vet to actually do the necropsy, especially when you start to defrost them. So that becomes an issue.
All right, so that's for a cruelty charge.
Yes.
Is your cruelty and neglect the same, or is neglect different?
About the same.
Okay, because
we have a state level, and then we also have a state level, and then we have a municipal.
Okay, so I was wondering, could you go after them as simple neglect? Because if the person didn't leave them in this situation, causing this, animals have been alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So in that case, we could have got them for neglect.
Because my thing is like you try a few bites at the apple. We try municipal court, right? Ordinance like that. You try to get them on state level if possible. And then you go over a misdemeanor, in superior court, for a felony. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have a few bites at the apple. Go ahead.
That, or you could just do animal abandonment. And just say, you did abandon the animal. I can't prove to you that this is why this animal died, but
you abandoned the animal and didn't leave any substance into it.
Absolutely.
See?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, guys. See, it's ways to get some type of conviction where somebody like this, first of all, should this person own another animal?
No.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just us not talking. If you leave reptiles, cold-blooded, doesn't make a difference, warm blood like that, not to fend for itself. I just talked about this in abandonment. I just had this on my last podcast. So this is awesome. This is awesome. All right, the next one. Favorite food to cook or eat?
Oh man, I'm a fish man.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I like my red shrimps.
Okay.
But I also like my fish. I like my maui maui.
Okay.
Yeah, I get a kind of little exotics with my fish a little bit, but yeah, I'm a fish man. I'm a fish rice.
Okay. What you ever had so you ate tilapia?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I lemon pepper me up some tilapia really great. Sure.
What about
or some coconut encrusted?
Okay.
tilapia,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am a swordfish guy. You ever messed with swordfish?
I had swordfish.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not bad.
Tuna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Ahi. I'm not mahi. Ahi tuna. That's what ahi tuna.
Okay.
And then I like it's gonna sound crazy, but it's this fish called crappie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We good with crappie, man.
Son.
We good with crappie.
Brim and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Man, my first time coming down to Georgia, man. Me and my man, one of my boys I used to work for security with, man. He took me out. We went fishing. He could fish.
Oh, we fish.
I fish. But he can fish.
Yeah.
Now, sing and sang.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? He can sing. All right?
Yeah.
Me, I sing.
Okay.
As far as fishing,
Okay.
I sing just a little bit, right?
Cool.
I can try to hold a note. Now your boy had about 2 or 3 rods stuck in the ground. Now boy had skills, and we got this crappie back there and thing because they're not that big, but flavorful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
they're great bait too, man. They're great bait for catfish.
See, catfish. As long as it's not too big, catfish. You know what I'm saying?
You don't eat big catfish. No. Big catfish is great for photos, and you throw it back. You get for the little ones. Now, you don't eat no big catfish because it's nasty.
They're nasty. They've been there forever.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Okay, so the name of the podcast is what? Don't fuck
with
up
the crime scene. You know it.
So, have you ever fucked up a crime scene?
Almost did recently.
Oh! Can you get details? What happened?
Not quite.
Okay. Hold it then. Hold it until the case is adjudicated.
Yeah.
And have a disposition. We come back to it. Back to it.
Okay.
But in that same vein, have you almost messed up other things when you didn't follow procedures?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What did you learn from those experiences?
Going back to this, I looked at the situation. Don't always assume somebody knows what you know, or somebody is going to do it the way that you told them to do it, and you think they're going to do it the same way you would.
So, yeah. Now the only thing is, now when we're going to talk, push back on that, because now that you're a supervisor, you have to delegate.
Absolutely.
So how does that work for you now?
Delegating is actually great, actually.
Okay.
But before I delegate, we sit down at the table.
Okay.
And I say, hey, we're going to do this. Do you know how to do it?
Right.
If you don't know how to do it, this is how we need to do it. And then we go out, bam, now let's hit the street and start rolling.
Right.
So we always keep the lines of communication flowing. So if such and such doesn't feel comfortable with this situation, talk to me. Let me analyze why you don't feel comfortable or why you're not on board with this right now. And then maybe me and you can get to some middle ground. And once we get to the middle ground and you understand why this procedure has to be followed to a T, now we can go swimming. You know what I'm saying? So
gotcha.
That's the way I look at the situation. But, I can't tell you, hey, use this as an example. Kev, I need you to go clean the kennels. And you go clean the kennels.
Right.
But I come back and I say, did you clean the kennels? Yeah, I did. But I'm like, well, did you use a disinfectant, or did you just spot clean, or did you do this, or did you sanitize? Well, yeah, I cleaned it. Ooh. But how did you clean it though?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So
bars.
You know what I'm
bars.
saying? Oh, well, you just said clean it. And I'm like, well, I thought you knew.
Oh.
But I can't
assume.
I can't assume.
Because if you assume, it makes it what? An ass out of you and me.
Exactly. So you never assume. I learned that early on. Absolutely.
I'm glad we're having that conversation because, being a trainer and instructor, I try to, and all my classes try to walk you through the steps for the most part and say, hey, this is what I'm going to teach you.
Absolutely.
And then I say, this is how I want to teach you. Mm-hmm. And then I try to show you examples and review a little bit at the end and try to do my best before Q&A that I cover all the stuff that we talked about.
Yeah.
And it gives somebody going forth the idea of, I can use this, I can use this, I can use that. Because when I come to these conferences, I still get tidbits and listen. I try to go to classes and try to listen because you shouldn't think you know it all.
Yes. And
the more years you do it, there's a lot that you're going to know.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And, sometimes you know more than anybody, around. And sometimes you can get complacent. Mm-hmm. And I do my best not to get complacent. That's why I try to keep learning.
Yeah. Because
you can get the big ego, the big head, and think you're the be all end all. And that's not good.
No, it's not. I've worked under people like that before, you know, and that is the reason which shaped me that put me in a different realm to see from both sides. Because like you said, I came from being a regular ACO and seeing what it was like to work up under certain people and not the greatest management styles. Mm-hmm. And then come into my own and say, you know what I didn't like, but at the same time, I do have to be in some kind of authority figure. So I do have to, enforce authority when needed, but I also have to have my employees instill that trust in me, and we work together as a team. We the Golden State Warriors. My team, the Golden State.
Here you go. Here you go.
Everybody got to share the ball.
There you go.
Yeah. You got a boss, Steph, but you gonna need a Draymond. You gonna need a Clay. And if Clay having a bad day, you gonna have to pull Jordan in. And if Jordan off, you might have to use Otto Porter. So so not everybody. You don't want your team to be like, oh, you were the go-to man 100%, because there may be a time that I don't know anything, but my team might be like, hey, let me talk to you. I know about this, so can you do this? Or this isn't supposed to look like this, man. Oh, really? I don't know nothing about bees or horses or nothing like that. I'm going to let you know this is bad water right here. Okay, now I know what to do. We bring up a scale, we're good, and now we move as a team and we enforce it as one. That's how you do it.
But see, that's how you become, you become and you stay a leader and just not a boss.
Yeah.
And I try to tell people it's different. A boss, don't get me wrong. I've been a boss, and I became a leader. Mm-hmm. And, leaders, people like to follow. Mm-hmm. And they will actually imitate you and emulate you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a boss, they might praise you and stuff like that, but, you might have problems too. Let's get to the next question. Favorite place to visit or vacation?
Man, I just got back from this place. This is my new favorite place, and it's going to shock you. So, Lincoln, New Hampshire, man.
New Hampshire?
I know. That's what everybody say, right?
New Hampshire?
New Hampshire.
Yeah, I've been up New Hampshire. All right. What's up, son?
But it's not Manchester. So, you fly into Manchester.
I know it is. I got you.
Lincoln, though, is up in the mountains.
Okay.
So, I just got back from a 4-night trip up there. We was in Lincoln. You up there by Mount Washington.
Okay.
Man, you go up on top of the mountain. Dude, it's like, you get to see the world at a whole different level, man. And you get to understand that you are now in a situation like it has to be more than me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I hear you.
Dude, I put my conscience in a whole nother different belief stratus. So, I'm looking over the whole mountain sphere, and then all I'm seeing is you see Maine to your right, you see Vermont to your left, and you standing in New Hampshire, and you like, wow, this is massive and it's peaceful. I come from a big city where you hearing trains and you hearing cars. You hear none of that, and the weather is so changey and iffy up there,
right,
that literally we seen a storm forming to your right. The sun was shining on the left, bright as day. And it was just cloudy over us at the same time.
Right.
And within 20 minutes, downpour.
Right.
Dude, it was amazing. It was mind blowing all at the same time. It's so chill. Definitely go to Lincoln, New Hampshire, man.
It's Lincoln, New Hampshire.
The best part about it is you 2 hours away from Boston.
Okay.
We were up there.
Okay.
You 2 hours away from Maine. So if you want to go catch you some fresh lobster, you in Maine.
Okay.
Or you hour and a half away from Vermont.
The thing about the Northeast up there and the states up there, the New England states.
Yeah.
I went to Boston 2-3 years ago. I did a ride along.
Okay.
And I still do ride alongs. And it's one of the best things. And I had a lot of fun. And I wore all my Yankee stuff, so they was cursing me out. It was cursing me out, bro. They was cursing me out so bad that they Yankees suck. I said, your mother. Yankees suck. Your mother. And I was like, they said Boston. Let's go Red Sox.
Yeah.
I'm like 27 championships. They was like this, and Giants beat Brady twice.
Yeah.
Enough. They don't hear nothing.
But I will tell you, Boston, loved it and hated it up at the same time.
All right.
It reminds me of St. Louis.
Okay.
Harlem.
Okay.
Reminds me of Spanish Harlem and like this like New Yorkish like where I'm talking about. Where's Times Square?
Manhattan.
Yeah, Manhattan all in one.
Yeah.
Meaning like, dude, it was so beautiful to just see multicultural all amongst each other.
Yeah.
But I hate the traffic, man. It reminds me of like Chicago. And the streets, you got to go all the way just to go on the left side of the street. You got to hit a whole U-turn.
I ain't driving.
Yeah.
See, I don't. When I go up there, I don't drive.
Oh, well, you good.
Like I said, my thing is I don't like buses. I could take if they have a train, I'll take a train.
Okay.
I don't like buses because bus is like driving. Mm-hmm. You get stuck. you know.
Yeah.
But because like when I come to St. Louis, stuff like that, you got to drive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But other places, like in Chicago, I
don't drive in Chicago.
No, I take the train.
Yeah,
I take the train
absolutely.
everywhere. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go. Are you a great teammate? I think you answered this, but are you?
Yeah.
What makes you a great teammate?
Because I listen well with others, and
Okay.
I never think that I am the go-to person of everything. Because I know I'm not the smartest person. I know I'm not the person that has all the answers, but I'm smart enough to go find them, and I'm smart enough to come to a conclusion and say,
That's what's
hey,
up.
you know what I'm saying? I'm never hiring myself to say, no, you have to go this way. I'm more like, you know what? I like this situation, but I think your idea is better than mine, so we're going to ride with your idea.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Are you a dog or a cat person, and why?
Man, I'm a dog person, honestly. And I don't know how I ended up with 2 Yorkies when my dog of choice would be like a master,
Right.
like a Neapolitan. But,
Right.
Yeah, I'm a dog person. Don't hate the cats. I deal with them.
Right.
Trapping them. I love them around and everything like that. But if I'm going to live with them 24/7, I would prefer a dog all day long.
Okay. All right. We're going to the last 5 minutes. So I enjoyed this, Robbie. I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been a pleasure. If I didn't say this, episode 20.
Okay.
I really appreciate you coming down, seeing you again. We're going to dap up and hang out a little bit later. We had actually at a conference where we had Prairie States Conference in Illinois, Bloomington, Illinois.
Yes, sir.
And it's my man Robbie Norris. We've been knowing each other for a few years. He's the big homie. He's a little homie right now, but he's coming up. He's a superstar. He got the lead supervisor position at where you from again?
St. Charles.
St. Charles, but you work at?
I'm from St. Louis, but St. Charles Animal Control.
Okay, bro. Great time.
No problem.
And I hope the Warriors win.
Yes.
That's 1 sec. All right. And let me dap you up real quick.
Warriors and 6.
Oh, that's what's up. What's up? And we're going to stop this recording. Again, episode 6. Don't fuck up the crime scene. Appreciate everybody. Talk to you guys later. And we're going to pause right there. And we're going to stop right here. And that's a wrap. Greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. It was a pleasure. I always have fun talking my stories and all that good stuff. So again, tune in to DFUTCS.com. Don't F up the crime scene. Holla back at you guys later.